getting off of the game where we're going to have two 11-0 teams going at it for Big Ten East supremacy and probably supremacy in the Big Ten all itself. Georgia ran roughshod over Rocky Top 38-10 in Knoxville. They have finally shown themselves to be the kind of dominant football team that I think is deserving of a number one ranking. I hate that it takes them this long and they only get up for the teams that got numbers next to their names. But when they do, it is lethal. They have tied the SEC record for consecutive wins in the SEC conference with 28 in a row. That was a record set by Bear Bryant's Alabama in the 70s, guys. We're talking about them really being just 1, 2, 3, 4 wins away from going back to back to back at Georgia. And you got, as Kirby Smart is fond of saying, I have an offensive coordinator in Mike Bobo who's chippy, got a chip on his shoulder, and I got a quarterback in Carson Beck who's chippy. I like that. As a defensive play caller and a defensive guy, I want my offense to have to prove it, because Carson Beck, who was on some national championship teams, is also going, I didn't win those. Stetson won those. I have to win my own. Mike Bobo taking over a job that people are like, I don't know, dog. Like, you really want Mike Bobo to come in for Todd Monken? And Mike Bobo hurt us. And now they're trying to run it up. Outstanding performance for them against Tennessee. Tennessee's not good. I don't think they're the number 18 team in the country. I barely think they're a top 25 team, but that's more or less because I think they would beat Liberty. That ain't because I think that they're one of the class teams in the SEC, let alone the SEC East. Just ask Missouri about that. But again, Georgia looks like Georgia. Carson Beck has taken over the spot that we were given to J.J. McCarthy as the Heisman placeholder. You know how we usually got like 3, maybe 4 real candidates that ought to win the Heisman Trophy, but we always got a 5th guy who happens to be the quarterback of an undefeated team that's ranked inside the top 4? Yeah, it was J.J. McCarthy. Now it's Carson Beck. Congratulations. You have leveled up into the conversation because we frankly don't have anybody else that we could put there aside from Brock Bowers, and I don't think Heisman voters have the wherewithal to make a tight end the Heisman Trophy winner. I'm here to be wrong, but I think they're cowards. I don't think they want to do that, even though Brock Bowers is the only other dude other than Marvin Harrison Jr. that terrifies me on a football field. And I think every other defense does that too. As a matter of fact, Tim Banks said leading up to this thing, defensive coordinator at Tennessee, we're not going to be good in man. We can't match up man to man. And you know what? Devon Bell showed him he was right. Brock Bowers showed him he was right. Like, Carson Beck was out there firing missiles. Those dudes are on a mission. And I'm really excited for the SEC championship game because I feel like both Alabama and Georgia are playing outstanding football. But now we're talking about a Georgia football team that has beaten 4 ranked opponents this season, in addition to going, undefeated. They've beaten Kentucky, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Okay? If you don't think that the SEC is that good, this doesn't mean much to you. But if you are the College Football Playoff Selection Committee and you're going to rank 2-loss Missouri as number 9, yeah, you think they're just that good. So there are levels to this, and I think right now we're talking about just 3 teams that I think will win the national championship. Ohio State, Michigan, winner, and then, of course, Georgia, who's won it the last couple of years in a row.
If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.